Shalom, shalom. First off, I'd like to give all the praise and all the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the whole elect around the four corners of the earth that are making their calling and election sure. This your brother Yanakar coming back at you again in the spirit with another lesson. Going into, we have to have faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. We have to cry until Yahweh Shema Shah. Pray. You know, the elder apostle Rekah always going to prayer, always praying, sending those prayers up to Yahweh Shema Shah. Because when you look around the four corners of the earth, who are crying and sighing? Who are going out on the highways, the byways, and the hedges? The men of Great Millstone. We are constantly going out to the highways, the byways, and the hedges, and we crying unto the Lord. In our captivity, we are crying, we are begging Yahweh Shema Shah to send salvation, to get us out of these hellish conditions. And we see the prophecies come to pass. We seeing the signs of the times. We seeing all of these things coming to pass and coming down the pike. And we understand that we are closer to our salvation. We're closer to getting the hell up out of here. Brothers are catching hell. Brothers are going through pure hell. All right, dealing with ailments in their bodies, dealing with the black woman, dealing with the jobs, dealing with the car problems, okay, dealing with Esau, Edom. Constantly catching hell. So we know we're getting closer and closer to getting out of here, because Yahweh Shema Shah is wrapping this thing up. And the more Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah wrap this thing up, the more Esau going to come down having that great wrath. So that hell is going to come. We're going to constantly have to endure. We're going to constantly have to put up with all of this chaos that's going to be going on, because it's going to get worse. So we're going to have to lean upon Yahweh Shema Shah more and more. That's why it's time for you to come back to Yahweh Shema Shah. It's time for you to come back to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. All right. Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And who is sighing and crying? All right. Who is sighing and crying? All right, you see brothers all around the four corners of the earth bringing out this word, all on the YouTube, the spiritual unicorn, all right, the internet, bringing out this word at a high level, sighing and crying, warning the people, being those watchmen, standing upon their watch, telling you where the snares and the traps are being set at, letting you know that Esau, Edom is about to come down having that great wrath. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. All right, this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get worse. You got the hour of temptation coming. The Jacob's trouble is coming. The famine is coming. The famine of the word is coming. All right. The third world's war, when your sons and your daughters are going to be shipped overseas to fight in this war. The second death is coming, with thermonuclear missiles going to be shot ground zero America. All around the four corners of the earth, people are going to watch the burning of America. That's what the scriptures say. That's what the prophecies say. This place is going to be burnt with fire because of all the atrocities, all the idol worship, all the ideologies that are pushed, the philosophies that are pushed, the lies. This place is going to be burnt with fire. That's the best cleaning agent compared to water. It's the best cleaning agent. And this place is going to be cleansed with fire. And nobody ever going to live here again. That's what's coming down the pipe. So we're sighing and crying. And we're fighting for that mark of exemption, that tuwa. All right? Because when you go into that mark, it goes into the tuwa, that mark of exemption. Okay? Ezekiel 9:5. And to the others he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. You see? So those death angels not going to have pity, because you didn't come back to Yahweh Shema Shai. You didn't take heed to that warning when it was going out. You wasn't sighing and crying for all the abominations that were done in the midst of Babylon the Great. Crying unto your power. No, you was trying to make America great again. You was hoping on that golden age. Okay? You was sitting on these different platforms and worshiping yourself, when you should have been worshiping Yahweh Shema Shai and preparing for war. All right? Because we're in a spiritual war. And Esau is about to get carnal. And we telling you this. We harping into you. But you have not lamented and you have not danced. So Yahweh Shema Shai is about to bring that righteous anger. All right? And it's rightfully so. Because when you look at 2/3 of our people, you see that these people are through. These people are done. When you hear the conversations when you're at work, and when you hear the conversations when you're out shopping, okay, you hear that these people have no idea of who Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is. He's not all love. He's a man of war. And Yahweh is his name. Exodus 15:3. So we constantly bringing these things out to you. We constantly letting you know who your power is. And he don't like you to have these other gods before him. You worshiping Caesar Borgia, Jesus. You worshiping the Buddha. You worshiping Islam. Okay? Allah. Yahweh Shema Shai have a problem with that. And you're going to see what type of problem he have with it in a little while, man. When you're calling on these powers and they're not going to help you. The only power that's going to help you is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the true and living power, Yahweh, and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. You see, so the Heavenly Father say, no, don't come near any that have the mark. Don't come upon the ones that have that tawah, but slay utterly young and old, maids and little children. Because he said, don't let your eyes spare. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is fed up. Your sins are reached unto heaven. And the Heavenly Father has a problem with all the iniquity that's going on here in the earth. And when you go into iniquity, it's sin upon sin. All right? So we're at the point where he is about to do something about this. That's why you see the rumors of wars, the uproars of the people, the earthquakes in diverse places, the earthquakes in Colombia, earthquakes in Indonesia. All right, 7.4, 6.5s. These things are going on. These things are happening. All right. Acts 1:6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Because they wanted to know. All right. All the hell that they was catching, all the hell that was going on, they wanted to know how long, Lord, before we get the kingdom. You know, they wanted to get the kingdom because they knew Yahweh Shai was doing miracles, and he was getting up on the cross. So they wanted to know, hey, are we going to get the kingdom now? You know, but it wasn't time yet. All these prophecies got to come to pass. All the signs got to come to pass. Esau's kingdom got to be set up, and he had to be a power throughout all the earth, because Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we had to go through Esau getting in power again during the Renaissance, the rebirth. When he came back into power and he took over the whole earth, we had to go through that. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is setting this devil up so his name could be reverenced all throughout the earth. That's why he have the technology he have. That's why his the dollar is the global dominant currency. Because Yahweh Shema Shai want everybody to know that this man is in power right now. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So that when he take him down, all power is given unto him. Everybody's going to be in fear. Just like when the spies went to Rahab the harlot, and she said our hearts melted when they heard what happened to the Egyptians. The same thing is going to happen again. And we living in those times. And we asking the Lord, how long, man? Because brothers are catching hell. And you know, we crying unto the Lord daily, constantly sending up those prayers, constantly calling unto our power. And we have that name to cry unto the Lord, and he hears. All right? We know that, hey, the Heavenly Father is going to come in and save us. He's going to deliver us because he did it all the times before. Look at that. Look back at the accounts in the Holy Scriptures. He always came in and he delivered the sons and the daughters of Israel out of various complicated situations. All right. Salakia. 2 Corinthians 4:16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. You see, the inward man is renewed day by day. The spirit is renewed day by day. You know, even though this outward man perish, what you see brothers dealing with ailments. You see brothers getting older. You see brothers getting grays, or brothers just constantly catching hell in the flesh. All right. Though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day. That spirit is getting stronger and stronger because we're getting closer and closer to the end. We're getting closer to the time of our deliverance, getting the hell up out of here. Those chariots coming. And we singing a song of Moses on those chariots and looking down and seeing the destruction of Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. We getting closer to that point, closer to seeing brothers doing miracles, brothers healing, okay? We getting closer to that point. So brothers are amping up in the spirit. Even though they're catching hell, in the back of their mind, they still saying like, hey, we almost out of here. You know, we just got to push a little bit further. We got to endure just a little bit more. And we getting closer to that point. 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment. You see, our light affliction is but for a moment. This is only for a moment. We're going to have forever salvation. We're going to be on top forever. We're never going to fall again. There's never going to be another nation that rule over us. All right? We're going to be dominant forever. You know how they look at basketball teams and football teams, all right, and say there was a dynasty. All right? Our dynasty never going to fall. We're going to be a dynasty forever. And rulership forever. Sovereign forever. Being kings and priests forever. That's what we're coming into. That's what we're about to have. So this is just but for a moment right here. 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. You see? So it's far more greater of what we're going to receive than what we're going through. All right, because this is just but for a moment. You catch ailments in the body, you know, you're dealing with bills, you're dealing with your car breaking down, you're dealing with your woman, you're dealing with your kids, you're dealing with the jobs, dealing with the 2/3. It's only but for a moment. All right, because we're about to really shine. We about to really be on top. 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. You see, so we can't see the kingdom, but we know that it's going to be forever. It's going to be eternal. All right. We can see the hell that we're catching. We can see Esau Edom with his foot on our neck, but it's only temporal. We see our people begging and asking Esau for help. We know this is temporal. So we're fighting to get that glory. We fighting to get that eternal glory. And we're going to get it. We're going to make it through all these hard times. We just have to endure. He that endure, the same shall be saved. All right? So with that, I'm going to end off by giving all the praise and all the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the whole elect. Shalom.